Om Yajnanandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurmridam Jayana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our ISKCONBURLA official YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss 7th mantra of Isopanisad. Jasmin sarvani bhutani atmi bhavut vijanataha tatra ko moha ka shoka ekatvam anupashyataha. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks in quality one with the Lord becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? So except for the Madhyam Adhikari and Uttam Adhikari discussed above in the last chapter, last mantra, mantra 6, no one can correctly see the spiritual position of a living being. So the living entities are qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of a fire are qualitatively one with the fire. Yet sparks are not fire as far as quantity is concerned, but the quantity of heat and light present in the sparks is not equal to that in a fire. The Mahabhagavata, the great devotee, sees oneness in the sense that he sees everything as the energy of the Supreme Lord. Since there is no difference between the energy and the energetic, there is the sense of oneness. Although from the analytical point of view, heat and light are different from fire, there is no meaning to the word fire without heat and light. In synthesis, therefore, heat, light and fire are the same. In this mantra, the words Ekottam Anupashyatha indicate that one should see the unity of all living entities from the viewpoint of the revealed scriptures. The individual sparks of the Supreme Whole possess almost 80% of the known qualities of the whole, but they are not quantitatively equal to the Supreme Lord. These qualities are present in minute quantity, but the living entity is but a minute part and parcel of the Supreme Whole. To use another example, the quantity of the salt present in a drop of is never comparable to the quantity of salt present in the complete ocean. But the salt present in the drop is qualitatively equal in chemical composition to all the salt present in the ocean. If the individual living being were equal to the Supreme Lord, both qualitatively and quantitatively, there will be the question of his being under the there will be no question of his being under the influence of the material energy. In the previous mantras, it has already been discussed that no living being, not even the powerful demigods, can surpass the Supreme Being in any respect. Therefore, Ekottam doesn't mean that a living being is equal in all respects to the Supreme Lord. It is, however, indicate that in a broader sense, there is one interest, just as in a family, the interest of all members is one, or in a nation, the national interest is one, although there are many different individual citizens. Since the living entities are all members of the same Supreme Family, their interest and that of the Supreme Being are no different. Every living being is a son of the Supreme Being, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.5. अपरियमितस्तन्यां प्रकृतिं विधिमे परां जीवभूतां महाबाहो जयदं धार्यति जगत्. All living creatures throughout the universe, including birds, reptiles, ants, aquatics, trees, and so on, are emanations of the marginal potency of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, all of them belong to the family of the Supreme Being. There is no class of interest. The spiritual entities are meant for enjoyment, as stated in the Vedanta Sutra 112, Anandamaya Vyasat. By nature and constitution, every living being, including the Supreme Lord, and each of his parts and parcels is meant for eternal enjoyment. The living beings who are engaged in the material tabernacle are constantly seeking enjoyment, but they are seeking it in the wrong platform. Apart from the material platform is the spiritual platform where the Supreme Being enjoys himself with innumerable associates. On that platform there is no trace of material qualities, and therefore that platform is called Nirguna. On the Nirguna platform there is never a class over the object of enjoyment. Here in the material world, there is always a class between different individual living beings because here the proper center of enjoyment is missed. The real center of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord, who is the center of the sublime and spiritual transcendence. We are all meant to enjoy Him and enjoy life with one transcendental interest and without any class. That is the highest platform of spiritual interest. And as soon as one realizes this perfect form of oneness, there can be no question of illusion, moho, or lamentation, shoko. A godless civilization arises from illusion, and the result of such a civilization is lamentation. A godless civilization such as that sponsored by the modern politicians is always full of anxieties because it may be crossed at any moment. That is the law of nature, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 7:14. Davyesya gunamayi maya dhurata mame prapadante maya metang tarantite. No one but those who surrender at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord can surpass the stringent laws of nature. Thus, if we wish to get rid of all sorts of illusion and anxiety and create unity out of all diverse interests, we must bring God into our all our activities. The results of our activities must be used to serve the interests of the Lord and not for any other purpose. Only by serving the Lord's interest can we perceive the Atma Bhuta interest mentioned herein. The Atma Bhuta interest mentioned in this mantra and the Brahma Bhuta in 4th canto, 30th chapter, text 20. Interest mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita also the same thing, 1854. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma no Sosatino Gankati Samasarvishu Bhuteshu Madhbhaktin Lavati Param are one and the same. The Supreme Atma, the soul, is the Lord Himself, and the minute Atma is the living entity. The Supreme Atma or Paramatma alone maintains all the individual minute living beings, but the Supreme Lord wants to derive pleasure out of their affection. The Father extends Himself through the children and maintains them in order to derive pleasure. If the children obey the Father's will, family affairs will run smoothly with one interest and a pleasing atmosphere. The same situation is transcendently arranged in the absolute family of the Parabrahman, the Supreme Soul. The Parabrahma is as much a person as the individual entities. Neither the Lord nor the living entities are impersonal. Such transcendental personalities are full of transcendental bliss, knowledge and life eternal. That is the real position of spiritual existence. And as soon as one is fully cognizant of this transcendental position, he at once surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Being, Sri Krishna. But such a Mahatma or great soul is very rarely seen because such transcendental realization is achieved only after many, many births. Once it is attained, however, there is no longer an illusion or lamentation or the miseries of material existence or birth and death, which are all experienced in our present life. That is the information we get from the mantra of Isopanisad, mantra 7. So thank you very much for listening to this lecture, and please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, comment, and get blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.